All right, let's take you back now to the Kruger National Park. A lot of activity there with SABC News senior reporter Ulrich Hendricks, who's now joined by the Minister of Forestry, Fisheries and the Environment, Mr. Willie Aucamp, who's been assessing the extent of the damage as well as flooding within the park. A very good afternoon to you, Ulrich. Once again, take it away.
Hi, thank you again, Alicia. Well, the Minister is boasting to us earlier that he's been a visitor to the Kruger National Park for a number of years. So this is his holiday spot. He's been touring it and he said that, the damages are devastating. So, Minister, like you said, you are a regular visitor to KNP. This morning when you went up on the helicopter and you saw the devastation, what was the thought that went into your mind?
The first thing that came to mind was the amount of preparedness that SANParks had when they went into this whole issue. I was here a week and a half ago, and at that stage we already had the early warnings regarding some floods. We already saw what happened in the north of the park, and to sit down with SANParks and their management and see that they are proactively preparing for what might come. That led to us being able to stand here today and say that not one single person lost their lives and not even one single person got injured in this whole evacuation process. We had to evacuate 362 people. That is not including the people that we assisted to get out of the park with their own vehicles. So on the 9th of January, the flood started in the Pafuri and Punamaria area in the north of the park. And on the 10th of January, we already started to evacuate people. In the south, on the 12th of January, we saw that the floods are coming, and we started to evacuate people in the south as well. I'm talking now about the Letaba area. The amount of damage in that area is severe. There's a lot of damage. We flew over the park. So my feeling when I flew over the park was firstly, wow, it is green and it's wet all over. And no animals have got injured that we are aware of. Animals have got this built-in early warning system. They already moved to higher ground a week ago. They knew that this was coming, and it's amazing to see. So we saw a lot of animals at the water puddles all over the place. They've got a lot of water. The wildebeest, they are playing, they in the GNU, they are the GNU. So they're playing around in the mud, and it was nice to see that. But it was also very devastating to see a place like Letaba Camp, like the high water bridge just to the north of Letaba on the way to Mupani Camp. The railings has been washed away, and the southern part of that bridge has also been washed away, and it will really take a huge effort and a lot of money to rebuild that. It's not at this moment in time easy to assess the whole amount of damage. If you look behind us, we've got the Sabi River just to the northeast of the Skukuza camp, and this bridge is still flooded. So we don't know whether there's damage to this bridge. We will have to wait for the water to subside. We will have to wait to go into the Letaba camp and to really do a proper assessment. On the way from Skukuza to Lower Sabi, there are 3 bridges that have been washed away already in the past. The detour roads around those bridges have now been washed away. So we are already rebuilding all 3 of these bridges, and now these floods came, and obviously it had an effect on the building effect, but we don't know what that will be. Before we can do a proper assessment, we'll have to look at what happened.
So while you're doing the assessment, and it could take a couple of weeks, you have established the Kruger Relief Fund aimed at rebuilding, getting the place up to where it was.
It's going to cost a huge amount of money. There's a lot of roads, a lot of bridges that have been affected, a lot of camps that's been affected, and we must get money to rebuild it. There's a lot of South Africans that, like me, love the Kruger National Park. And not only South Africans, foreigners that come to Kruger almost on an annual basis. And we are going to reach out to them via the Kruger Relief Fund, donate money that will be administered by a reputable auditing company. Every single cent that will be received by the Kruger Relief Fund will go towards rebuilding Kruger Park to what it was before we had received this flood. So I'm really appealing to everybody out there, whatever you can, give something. Help us and help this dedicated team of SANParks to rebuild this park. It is I'm so proud to say that I'm part of this team. The Sandparks team, every ranger, every section ranger, every worker here, the managing executive, every single one, from the pilots, everybody worked so hard to firstly get people to safety, to make sure that people's lives are not in danger, and they are still doing that. I'm so proud to be part of this team that proactively worked to really make the best out of a really very devastating situation.
Thank you very much, Willie Aucamp. Of course, the Minister of Forest, Fishery and the Environment, talking to us about the floods that are ravaging Kruger National Park at the moment, talking about the Kruger Relief Fund that is being set up. Of course, it's going to cost a lot of money to rebuild, as he has said in the past throughout the day, and of course saying that, as he was touring the Kruger National Park, the one thing that stood out for him was that this damage was extensive. Alicia?